So welcome everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate ADCET's 2025 Accessibility in Action Awards. My name is Rebecca Morris. I'm the manager of the Australian Disability Clearinghouse on Education and Training, ADCET for short. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a white woman well into my 40s. I have long dark brown hair. I wear glasses and have a blue and white striped shirt on today. So ADCET is hosted on Lutruwita, Tasmania Aboriginal land. And in the spirit of reconciliation, ADCET respectfully acknowledges the Lutruwita nations and also recognises the Aboriginal history and culture of the land. And I pay my respects to elders past and present and to the many Aboriginal people that did not make elder status. I also acknowledge all other countries and lands from participants in this meeting, and also acknowledge their elders and ancestors and their legacy to us, and any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining this meeting today. I'm located on Ngunnawal country, and I invite you to introduce yourself and tell us where you are joining us from in the chat. As we gather during National Reconciliation Week, we reflect on the theme of building relationships, respect, and opportunities together, strengthening our commitment to learning from and walking alongside Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Now, this commitment to inclusion extends to our work in accessibility, recognising that true reconciliation involves creating spaces where all people, including those with disability, can participate fully and meaningfully. So ADCET is proud to celebrate our Accessibility in Action Awards in line with Global Accessibility Awareness Day annually in May, and which is when our winners were announced. These awards provide an opportunity to highlight and showcase the amazing work by individuals and teams in advancing accessibility and inclusive practice across the tertiary education sector in Australia. So to everyone who nominated an individual or team project this year, thank you. To our fabulous panel of judges that assisted us this year, thank you. And a big thank you to everyone who missed out this year and to the staff and students across the sector that continue to make education more accessible. We know a lot of amazing work is going on in this space and it is often unacknowledged, and not all of it is represented here today. But thank you. We are all benefiting from your hard work, and today we are here to celebrate some outstanding individuals and teams. So I'll now hand over to Darren to announce the recipients.
Thank you, Rebecca. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And congratulations for everybody just for being here, finding time in your day, an hour and a half of your day to come and join us and to help celebrate the winners of this year's Accessibility in Action Awards. It's very much appreciated. Just a little bit of background on the awards as well. The judges, thank you again, as Rebecca said, but the judges scored each nomination according to the criteria that we gave them and on a scale from 1 to 10 based on the supplied information in the nominations. All scores were then collated and ADCET then determined the winners based on those who scored 7 and above. An arbitrary thing, but we can't give awards to everybody, so that was our cutoff score of 7. However, as is the case, not everyone can be a winner. And while a score of 7 was the cutoff, 2 nominations fell just short, and hence they have received a highly commended nod, and we'd like to acknowledge them today. They are Deakin University, Equity Capable Careers Service of Lauren Hanson, David Eckstein, Lisa White, Taryn Atwell, and Jess Avery. And the second highly commended was, again, Deakin University, the One Deakin Assessment Task Template. Sam Purvis, David O'Brien, Leah Pisowicz, Linda Corin, Fabrice Bernard, Susie McFarland, Sachin Ranawira, Penny Manwaring, Sarah Dingle, Robin Usell, Tiff Gunning, Robin Barrelon, Kira Minton, and Tara Draper. So congratulations to them on getting just pipped at the post, if you can say congratulations, but we did want to just give a nod to those. Just a reminder, if you can keep your microphones off if you're not accepting an award or commenting on, and also a reminder that this session is being recorded, and so if you do turn your video on, it may be recorded as part of the session or part of the recording. Okay, so To kick off, our individual award winners for Accessibility in Action, which we have termed the Champions of Accessibility. And our first Champion of Accessibility is Trina Bianchini. Trina, are you with us today?
I am. Thank you. It's not allowing us to turn the camera on, but that's okay. I can still talk. So thank you so much. I'm truly honoured to receive this award. I work at ADCET, South Australia's largest vocational education and training provider, where I lead inclusive education and accessibility initiatives. One of my core focuses is embedding universal design for learning into our systems, teaching practices and professional development so that every learner, regardless of background or ability, has a fair and flexible opportunity to succeed. So one of the key projects that I've worked on is our Inclusive Education Roadmap, which outlines how we can make inclusive practices and accessibility a standard part of everything that we do and not just an afterthought. So I cannot accept this award without acknowledging the teaching and learning team at ADCET, support from our Dean, Victoria Griffith. I must call out the amazing work Jen Cousins did on starting this work at ADCET and Marina Borello in supporting me to continue it. And I'd like to also acknowledge Tanya Allen for the work done in our digital toolkit, which is obviously very important with accessibility. So that support has been amazing as well. And Danielle Ike and Rachel Baum for nominating me. So thank you.
Thank you, Trina. As we go through today as well, I'll also be reading out some comments from the judges, some selected comments that are there. And one judge noted about Trina's nomination that this is a very comprehensive list of achievements. Trina is clearly committed to bringing accessibility and inclusion to the forefront of TAFE SA and has proven that over and over again. So congratulations again, Trina.
Thank you.
The next champion of accessibility is, drumroll, it's already on screen, Jacinta Jones O'Meara for accessibility, leadership and advocacy. One of the judges noted here, while you're getting prepared, Jacinta, if you're here, Jacinta has clearly made massive impacts at RMIT for both staff and students over a range of different events, programs and initiatives. So Jacinta, if you're here, over to you.
Oh, sorry, everyone, technical difficulties. Hi, I was just saying my name's Jacinta Jones O'Meara. I use she and her pronouns, and a visual description of myself is I have dark brown hair in a bun, I'm wearing a black top, glasses, I have white skin and a big smile on my face. I guess I was blown away with this because I'm really honoured to do what I do and I love what I do. I've only ever worked in the disability sector since I was 18. I started in support work and yeah, I've always had a passion for ensuring that yeah, everyone's voice is valid and how do we get to amplify the voices of those who maybe aren't the loudest in the room. So that's a passion of mine. I'm really lucky to work with amazing people at RMIT who make my job possible and easy. My colleagues in my equitable learning service team, they're champs at providing inclusive adjustments. My associate director, Lara Rafferty, is a champion of all things inclusion. My manager, Teresa Dowding, is also such a champion of making sure that we provide accessible and inclusive environments. Darren, is that good? Is more or?
That's perfect, Jacinta.
Okay.
Look, we didn't really give people, so sorry, let me just say congratulations, everybody join me in congratulating Jacinta. Yes, I might just point out, we've given everybody a few minutes to speak. We know some people will be shorter, some people will be longer. It's perfectly fine if we start running out of time today, but we did want to allow extra time, hence why we're going half an hour longer than our normal webinars to give people a chance to, to have a say, and particularly for some of the team ones as well, so that we can find out about what the actual project was and things they were working on. But thank you, Jacinta, very deserving.
Thanks, mate.
Next up, as champion of accessibility, is Carmel Whitty for the Sure Start Transition Support Program for first year students with autism at Macquarie University.
Yeah, hello. I can't get my video on, but I'll I'll say hello. So yeah, my name's Carmel. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a white woman with, for all of you who are there out there, I'm wearing glasses as well, and I've got long light brown hair. So yeah, thanks. I'm just delighted to have received this a surprise nomination and award. Came very unexpected, and yeah, I'm very, very delighted to be a part of this community. The program I worked on and developed called Sure Start, it was designed, so yeah, I work at Macquarie University in the accessibility team. We're a very small team, and my manager, Kelly Piper, we've been talking about this idea about having some support for students with autism starting uni. So going either from school, from another world of work, wherever they've come from, and then coming to this strange institution called university. And I guess in some ways kind of translating the language of the university into something more tangible. So the program really focused on things like terminology, processes, all those things that can be expected to be understood from the get-go. And it was a beautiful community building opportunity. We had 12 students and we did it in hybrid, 5 sessions. So from the week before semester started and then 4 weeks into semester. And we had a really, really great response. Students were so engaged straight away. And we did a combination multimodality approach to give lots of options for interaction and participation. And I was just delighted with the response and yeah, really grateful for the opportunity. I led the program with a colleague, Katie Delves. So shout out to Katie. Thank you for joining me on that journey. And also just a thank you to my amazing team in accessibility. To develop it, I had a good brains trust with Sunny, Jelena and Gaby. We all kind of troubleshooted some ideas and then I kind of ran with it. Yeah, and thanks to the rest of accessibility team as well. Mary, Natalie, Brittany, Jackie and Will. Just a thank you to you all. And yeah, it's a real privilege. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you, Carmel. Very deserving. Yeah, lots of good comments from the judges flowing through on that one, that's for sure. But congratulations on such an important initiative as well.
Thank you.
Next up, as an individual award for a champion of accessibility is Associate Professor Laura Gray for the Disability Inclusion Self-Assessment Tool with the Medical Deans of Australia and New Zealand. Laura, are you with us?
And thank you so much. And thank you so much to the people who nominated me for this and for the opportunity to have a chat about this work. I'm very humbled by being part of this group of very accomplished people. Unlike some of the amazing people who've introduced themselves, I've come at this from a slightly different perspective. I'm a long-standing educator and academic and course leader. And I've kind of been working from that side of the equation for a long time, thinking about ways that we can translate some of the great ideas that we see in the literature into practice. I've recently had the great privilege of being able to establish a centre looking at equity in health professions education. We received some philanthropic funding to do that, which has been just amazing in the memory of one of our medical students. And one of the first things that we've done is work on this project, thinking about disability inclusion in medical programs. Across medical programs, I think it's fair to say that there's a really strong desire to make medical training more inclusive and to make sure that medical graduates represent the communities that they serve a little bit better. But that desire and the willingness and all the conversations that are occurring don't always translate into action in the way that people might want. And there's a reason, a range of reasons why that's the case. And partly that's because it's hard to know where to start. So one of the things that we've done in this project is to take some of the guidelines that the medical deans, which is the peak body representing all of the medical schools in Australia and New Zealand, we've taken their guidelines and turned them into a really practical self-assessment tool. So it's a tool that educators or course leadership or third space professionals or professional staff can use to really evaluate what it is that they're doing and why they're doing it, and looking at it across the student life cycle. So thinking about how we go about disability inclusion all the way from outreach and marketing of courses through to selection and admissions, teaching, assessment, all the way through to graduation. And then also how we think about building cultures in our courses and supporting staff. So it's intended to be comprehensive. It's a set of questions that people can engage with. And so far it's paying some dividends. We're starting to see some progress and some uptake of the tool. And our next steps will be both to support its use within medical programs, but then also to develop a version of the tool that can be used by any course in any higher education space. So that's where we're hoping to go next. And I'd love to be able to share that work with this group of amazing individuals and teams here as well. But thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share this work. It's just been delightful to be nominated and to receive this award. And I'm very humbled.
Thank you very much, Laura. Yeah, definitely. Look, we'll be looking at sharing again some of the winners in that from today. We'll be doing some spotlight pieces on, and some of these will be turned into webinars and things as well, given the interest certainly across this. Look, one of the judges did note, I think as Laura said, that this was an innovative and practical tool that uplifts equality and inclusion in an academic environment that generally poses significant challenges for studying with a disability. So congratulations again, Laura. Next up is Tiana Blazvik for the Neurodiversity Project, Neurodivergent Study Skills Workshops at the University of Adelaide. I'll just quickly read one of the judges' comments, which was, I love that Tiana is focusing on neurodiverse students who cannot afford a formal diagnosis. I think it helps to break down the financial barrier that's often not talked about when it comes to disability. I also appreciate her understanding of comorbidities with neurodivergence, such as auditory processing issues and hypermobility. And for those of us that may have seen one of the webinars Tiana's done, this is a well-deserved award. Congratulations, Tiana. Over to you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm very honoured to, be receiving this award. These workshops have been, for me personally, quite life-changing. They've, been able to reach so many students that otherwise wouldn't have been able to receive as much support. So for those who don't know, these workshops address 12 different academic areas, the way that they were designed. And this was something that had been, in my head for a while as a learning advisor, seeing some of the neurodivergent students struggle with particular areas such as note-taking or public speaking, but knowing that they couldn't access a diagnosis for whether it's financial reasons or old documentation, or perhaps they were also international students as well. So when we were putting these together, I was really thinking of those students and how can we create something that can hit almost every single academic point, something that they're going to come across in their studies. And I thought, okay, let's see how this goes. And they were incredibly popular and still are very popular with students. So I'm now running them 3 times a week, and we'll continue to run them 3 times a week next semester. And so far we've had over 500 registrations and over 400 students attend them. And so I'm hoping that these students are able to still access something or get at least one thing out of one of these workshops that they can take away with them. And I try my very best to make these workshops as cozy and comfortable as possible, which is just acknowledging that you can get up, walk around, we can dim the lights, there's fidget tools on the tables. We've also got lots of worksheets and drawing paper as well, just to make sure that the environment is as safe and comfortable as possible. And every single workshop, I'm always amazed at the level of engagement with students who really want to talk about their own lived experiences, but also offer advice to other students, as these workshops are open to all levels. So HDR students, Masters by coursework, Masters by research, and all undergraduate students as well. And what I see is just a lot of community building and natural peer support, which is also the project that I'm currently developing at the moment. So very grateful and very happy. And I also want to give a bit of a shout out to my team in disability here at the University of Adelaide, who have been with me since the beginning of this iteration last year in 2024, and also a special shout out to Gus and Kelsey in my team who have helped me with these workshops, whether it's setting up, helping with students, the admin behind all of these workshops as well. I wouldn't be able to do it without them. So I'm very grateful and grateful to receive this award. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tiana. Well deserved, I must say. Our next recipient and for Champion of Accessibility is Brooke Such from University of Queensland's Disability Inclusion Advocacy Network and Associated Initiatives. Over to you, Brooke.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to start by saying I'm really sick, so I'm not going to talk for a lot, and definitely a camera off day. But thank you so much. It's been really nice to hear what everyone else is going on at their universities and TAFEs and all the higher education, because as someone who's been a student, turned into a staff member, and I'm now returning to be a student in July, there's just such a huge amount of work and change that has happened in that time since I was last a student, and that you can really see what really see what impact you're all having, what work's happening there, and I'm very honoured to be a part of that change. And I just wanted to thank Natasha Bromelo and Gerhard Hofstadter from the University of Queensland, who've been a really big part of making Diane happen. Doing my best, but that's what I've got for you today. Thank you very much for having me.
No, fantastic. Thank you, Brooke. Look, judges' comment, again, incredible to see the comprehensive range of impacts Brooke has had from setting up communities, advocating for accessibility and inclusion awareness, and doing so within and beyond their institution. So congratulations again, Brooke, well deserved. And the last of our individual awards for Champion of Accessibility goes to Joanne Keck-Pimenta from Griffith University for sustained advocacy and commitment to accessibility. Congratulations, Joanne. I'll throw to you.
Thank you. I'm honoured to receive this award. My name is Joy. I'm a middle-aged white woman, hard of hearing, with long blonde hair, and I'm wearing half-orange glasses and a blue check blouse. As someone who is hard of hearing, being recognised for work in accessibility, inclusion and communication means a great deal. At Griffith University, I work across Inclusive Futures, Reimagining Disability and the Hopkins Centre, where lived experience is truly valued. I've contributed to projects like Easy Read resources for First Nations communities, accessible NDIS research, and inclusive storytelling for the Dignity Project, as well as developing inclusive design and events toolkits. A highlight has been co-creating the Australian Disability Clearinghouse for Education and Training guideline for supporting deaf and hard of hearing students online with Kathy Est, Robbie Blackson, and Gary Carriage, a project very close to my heart. I've also worked on the Disability Reporting Handbook with Media Diversity Australia, judged the Australian Access Awards, and designed accessible resources at TAFE Queensland. I want to thank the Australian Disability Clearinghouse for Education and Training, the judges, and everybody for this recognition, and to everyone who supported me, especially my Griffith team, led by Professor Elizabeth Kendall. I share this with you all and with the community committed to making accessibility real. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Joanne. Look, judges comment that Joanne is clearly dedicated to helping small case D, capital deaf, and hard of hearing students in the digital world of tertiary study. I'm very glad to see a disabled staff member on the list, and it brings a unique and imperative perspective on how we can integrate accessibility into the tertiary sector across many years of service. So congratulations again, Joanne.
Thank you.
So I now have the privilege of handing over to Katie Lambert, daughter of the late and great Trevor Allan, to introduce the Trevor Allan Award for 2025.
Hi, everyone. My image description is that I'm a woman in her late 40s with blonde and pink hair, wearing a black jacket and a black and pink shirt. I'm really happy to be here today to be able to present this award. As many of you here would know, Dad was really passionate about reducing barriers to higher education for people with disability. Through both adjustments for individuals as well as broader education within institutions and society. He also really loved being a part of a community of people working within this sector, sharing information, ideas and supporting one another. Dad was really chuffed when he heard about this award being named after him last year. So it's been really important to me that we have recipients that have made a really significant impact in this sector like he did. Luckily, the pool of nominees this year was incredible and there was no one that I would have been unhappy for this award to go to. Dad was really generous in sharing his own knowledge and time, and I saw the same qualities in Jodie Hoger when reading through her nomination. Like Dad, she's regularly gone beyond her role and her own institution to assist others in creating change, not because she's under any obligation to do so, but because she believes in the importance of this work and genuinely wants to create a more inclusive community. Like Dad, Jodie's had significant impact both on an individual level, working one-on-one with students as a TAFE teacher consultant, advocating for their accessibility needs to be met, as well as on a broader level, addressing systemic barriers. I'm not going to try and list everything she's achieved and been involved in, or we'd be here for hours, but I'm so happy to be able to present this award to another such worthy individual. Congratulations, Jodie.
Oh, Katie, thank you so much. And firstly, I really want to acknowledge your dad. And he was a giant. And I feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of a giant. And so it's deeply humbling to receive this award. Thank you to Naomi McGrath, who nominated me. And I was so shocked when I got the email. I'm like, seriously? I'm a very proud disabled woman, and I believe that a lot of my healing and integration and then embracing my disabled identity has gone hand in hand with my own professional journey in really advocating for people with disability across education and also in employment. My very first job, when I never thought I'd have a job, was I started out at 24 at the University of Wollongong and ended up establishing the first disability advisor role at the University of Wollongong, which was over 30 years ago. And landing here today now, more not in the twilight part of my career, because I think I've still got a fair bit to go. My husband reckons I'll retire when I'm in a coffin. But I focus very much on what's still left to do. And so sometimes that can be overwhelming. It can be triggering with living with disability myself. And you sometimes think, have I got enough left in my resilience buckets to keep going? And what has been so significant with this recognition is that it's made me stop and look at actually the difference that my journey has been able to make in starting to change the landscape for people with disability, certainly in the tertiary education sector and in employment, and supporting people to really develop their own disability confidence in themselves, as well as really trying so hard to change the systemic barriers that we still find ourselves 30 years into my career trying to still bash down. So for me, thank you for the opportunity to stop and reflect, to realise that whilst I've been recognised with this award. This award is a representative for every single one of us that are out there working above and beyond our roles to make a difference. And it helps us to stop and actually fill up our buckets and go, you know, we actually have made progress. The landscape is changing. And whilst there's still so much work left to do, we actually are really biting into the big rock that we're still trying to change. So this is for everybody, all of us that are working really hard. Again, I'm deeply humbled, standing on the shoulders of giants, and I think that it's a message for us to fill up our buckets and keep on going. And one day, it'd be nice to be able for us to look back and really see, you know, that not only have we made differences in our own tertiary environments and across the sector, but the impact is actually really shifting the culture within Australia in how people with disability can learn, live, work and play. Thank you.
Thanks, Jodie. I'm really glad this has given you an opportunity to reflect on your amazing contribution.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, sometimes you get so caught up in what's left to do that you don't stop and think about how far we've come, you know, and sometimes we need to check in so that we can keep on going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll hand back to Darren now.
Thank you, Katie. And congratulations, Jodie. Look, it is too true. We always seem to be fighting the challenges and we often forget to celebrate the successes or look back at the successes. And that's part of what these awards are about, to give us a moment to stop, reflect, and recognise not only the work that we do, but the work that colleagues do across the sector, and to take a moment to pause and celebrate that and say, we do good work. I think, like you said, Jodie, we're all here till the coffin. I think it gets under your skin. But yes, congratulations again.
Thanks, Darren.
Okay, and thank you, Katie. All right, so moving on to the Team and Project Award winners for 2025 Accessibility in Action Awards. There were 11 winners this year, and the first of those for RMIT, Inclusive Assessment Strategies for Educators, which was Elise Greenwood, Teresa Dowding, Anna Branford, Jacinta Jones O'Meara, there's that name again, Ronnie Andrade Para, Hilary Wheaton, Jamal Albulmona, Colette Beauregard Siheba, Rachel Haynes Wesson, Anne Standish, Helen McLean, and Chilwyn So. If somebody would like to speak on behalf of the team.
Hi, Darren. It's Elise here. I'm happy to speak on behalf of the team, and it's a really amazing team. So I'm Elise. My pronouns are she, her. I've got quite curly hair with glasses and a black puffy down jacket because it's a really cold Melbourne winter day. So our team is really delighted to receive an ADCET Accessibility in Action Award. Assessment plays a really significant role in both student and educator experiences. So making assessment inclusive by design is a really great way to enable inclusive practice. So our team comprised of many staff members from many different areas from right across RMIT who all come together to support this initiative and deliver educator workshops on inclusive assessment design. So thank you to the judges and thank you to ADCET for the award and also your work in this space, because our team used resources that we were exposed to at last year's UDL symposium. And we're really excited to grow our toolkit further at this year's symposium, which is focused on assessment. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Elise. Good shout out for the symposium, but congratulations to everybody there. Again, assessment, this was one of the notes from one of the judges. Assessment is a key area that's often overlooked in terms of accessible design, and it's something we all struggle with quite often, is assessment and breaking down some of those barriers. So look, it's wonderful to have training and support that provides opportunity for educators to deeply engage with this and design inclusive assessments. But congratulations to the RMIT team. Now, Charles Darwin University, next team project winner. Congratulations. Creating accessible, inclusive and student-centered support practices. Julia Ash, Chloe Hay and Marnie Bruce. One of the judges noted that university-wide cultural, digital and physical accessibility improvements were given with strong student voice and measurable outcomes. So I'll throw to a rep from Charles Darwin.
Yeah, great. Hi, everyone. I'm Julia Ash. I have long brown hair, a white t-shirt, and a black dress that you can't really see, but you can see a little bit of it. I just wanted, can everybody hear me properly? Okay, great. So I just want to thank everybody for the acknowledgement for this prize.
Our project, creating an accessible, inclusive, and student-centered support practices at CDU. So we've really focused on accessibility by listening directly to students with lived experience. In the past year, we've delivered institution-wide access to essential assistive technology, opened multiple sensory spaces, co-designed with students, launched accessible event guidelines, and made disability awareness training mandatory for all staff. Our goal has always been to remove barriers before students even need to ask, and the feedback we've received shows how life-changing these steps have been. So we're really proud of what's been achieved so far, and we're really looking forward to what we can achieve in the future as well. So yeah, thanks again for recognizing us. We really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Julia, and to the rest of the team there. Absolutely fantastic work. Next, the University of Newcastle for Auslan Language and Culture Beginners 1 and 2, which is Tom Doe, Sarah Dearlove, Marley Webb, and Patrick Nichols.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marley, learning designer for our Auslan courses here at the University of Newcastle. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a middle-aged brown woman with a bun and glasses in a fluffy jumper with another big smile on my face. I'm incredibly proud to accept this award on behalf of our core project team, who unfortunately can't be here today. Tom Doe, our lead academic, Sarah Dearlove, our interpreter, and Pat Nichols, our media producer. Our project set out to break down multiple accessibility barriers. For students, we created an inclusive and culturally informed space to learn Auslan, with an extensive suite of high-quality videos, interactive activities, scaffolded assessments, and opportunities to engage with the deaf community. For deaf academics and interpreters, we focused on building respectful, sustainable collaboration practices, recognising English as a second language, and ensuring inclusive workflows. The response has been incredible. Student feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, describing the course as fun and engaging, insightful, and life-changing. Learners report increased cultural awareness, confidence, and a deep appreciation for being taught directly by deaf people. Many plan to apply their learning in future professional contexts and their personal lives. Pat and I have also gained invaluable experience from working closely with the deaf community and expanding our skills in accessible practice, knowledge that now can inform other projects across our university. This work is ongoing with growing student demand and industry interest. We're excited to build on this success and expand our Auslan course offerings. Thank you so much for recognising our team's work. It really means so much to us. And now I'd just like to read a few words from Tom that he asked me to read out on his behalf. Thank you all for choosing us. It's a true honour to have our work acknowledged. A huge thank you to the team who worked countless hours behind the scenes, and deep thanks to the deaf community for sharing their cultural knowledge and helping make this happen. Through our work, we've shown a glimpse of what access can look like. There is still so much more to do, but thank you for believing in us and our journey. I'd also just like to thank my fellow learning design colleague and accessibility advocate, Cleo Moore, for putting the time in to nominate us. Thank you.
Thank you, Marley. Look, I don't think it's about us believing in you. It's you making us believe that these things are possible, and seeing that. One of the judges commented, refreshing to see accessibility in action through curriculum, the empathy building, the capability building, and the positive impact that this initiative has brought to allied health practices and education. So congratulations to everybody in the team there. Next is the University of the Sunshine Coast, the Uni SC graduation ceremonies, which is Emma Rawi, Stephanie Tropiano, Kylie Williams, and Naomi Charlie. While you're getting ready to speak, one of the judges commented that accessibility considerations, which address a range of barriers to full, inclusive, and safe graduation attendance, is key. What a great example for other events and other universities.
Thank you so much, Darren. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I'm Emma, and I'm from the marketing team at the University of the Sunshine Coast. And I feel very new and green in this space. And I think I want to start, well, I know I want to start by thanking colleagues at the university who really challenged us to do better and to be better, and who offered advice and guidance in a space that we weren't overly familiar with. We work across marketing, across a number of different things, but we were really proud at some of the things that we have achieved over the last couple of years, but really last year was a highlight for us. So graduation is often described by students as kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. So it is really important that we can make attending a graduation ceremony available to every single student and their family and friends who've supported them along the way. 65% of the University of the Sunshine Coast cohort identifies as being from an equity group. So it's really important for us to consider everyone when we're planning our graduations. Last year, we kicked off a project where we replaced the very traditional European music that plays at a graduation ceremony that I'm sure many of you will be familiar with an original score by an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander musician. And we were so proud of that. So that was a real highlight. But just being able to make small tweaks throughout the ceremony that mean that, you know, people aren't put off by attending, they don't feel excluded. It was a work in progress, but we made some really significant changes that we're really proud of. When you're in the throes of event planning, it can be easy to lose sight of the why, but when you're at the ceremony and you see graduates with their families and friends celebrating, it's a powerful reminder of the importance of ensuring that we've done all we can to include everyone. So while this work was led by a small team, I did want to thank the many dedicated colleagues from across the university who have helped ensure that we're doing everything we can to make graduation accessible, and we share this award with the rest of them too. So thank you.
Thank you. Look, fantastic nomination, and yeah, the more we can make all of our events, not only graduations, fully inclusive, the better. But you know, fantastic work going on there. Next up, next project and team winner was from the University of Technology, Sydney, for their professional captioning dashboard. That is Angel Lee, Ashley Wilcox, Conrad Franklin, Elizabeth Smith, Jasmeet Beatty, Jean Lay, Joe Mark Stowe Domingo, Katie Duncan, Michael Chan, Sandra Guthrie, and Shirin Bayet.
Hello. My name is Katie Duncan. I'm just talking on behalf of this project. So a few years ago, when students needed professional captions, we'd send them an email to an already stretched academic, asking them to request captions one video at a time. Unsurprisingly, a few requests came through and students missed out. That's when a truly collaborative project began across the Education Portfolio, Information Technology Unit, the Accessibility Service, and the Data and AI Unit. Together, we built a dashboard and process that tracks what videos are in which subjects, whether they're captioned, and also allows us to bulk request professional captions. Now credits are used wisely and academics are supported to provide accurate captions to students. A huge thanks to Jasmeet for her leadership, to Kim Neville, who's since moved on from UTS, for securing the original funding, to Hero for the first prototype, to Shirin for pushing us forward, and to Joe Mark, our data wizard. And as you can see from the list that Darren read out, it's been a cast of thousands. So thank you to everyone who's contributed. There's been a lot involved, and it's really made a difference to making UTS a more accessible learning environment.
Fantastic. Thank you, Katie, and congratulations to the team there. We know captioning still the wild frontier at the moment. While things have improved, they're not on the same list as other resources that students have, yet they play just as big of an important part of the resources students need. Look, one of the judges, I'll just mention, noted that they appreciate how your nomination acknowledged some of the difficulties that you've had and some of those in the past, and how you've improved them with accessibility in mind, and that they hope more educators get on board with projects like this across different institutions. So congratulations again, Katie and team. Next up, Curtin University for the Curtin Specialist Mentoring Program, the CSMP, and that is Sandia Subramanian, excuse me, Debbie Tay, Paul Cristani, and Kevin Winder. Is somebody there to talk on behalf?
Hi there. My name is Kevin Winder. I'm a cisgendered white male in my mid-40s and sporting black clothes is all you can see at the moment with short brown hair. And I'm here with two of my colleagues, Sandia Subramanian and Debbie Tay. We are from the Curtin Specialist Mentoring Program, or the CSMP, as we are known, and we provide a program for students living with autism. The CSMP aims to support students with autism to thrive in education and to achieve their potential through mentoring, with a focus on supporting students with their academic and career goals. CSMP was established over 10 years ago by Dr. Jasmine McDonald and Dr. Teresa Kidd in response to research which identified a gap between neurodivergent students and their peers in higher education and employment opportunities. Since the initial pilot project over a decade ago, CSMP has grown and now supports 75 students with autism diagnoses, with plans to extend and develop a service to support an additional 30 students, bringing us to a total of 105. With plans to further develop what we do in the program, which is largely led by feedback that we get from students who use the service. And came to joining the CSMP myself as a mentor a little over a year ago. I joined Sandia as the joint coordinator of the program, with the line management support of Debbie and the administrative support with our colleague Paul Cristani, who's not here today with us, unfortunately, in addition to the volunteers who support us. And we recruit, train and manage a team of 50 mentors, which is soon to increase to around 70 mentors who provide mentoring support to our mentees. I nominated the CSMP program for this award, not for my own contribution, but due to the dedication and passion that I've observed from Sandia, Paul, and Debbie. Furthermore, I've heard about the history of the program and was compelled to make the nomination for the current team and also for the people whose shoulders we stand on. Not least the mentees who have accessed the program for over a decade, and also the mentors who have supported them, but people like Jasmine, Teresa, and my predecessors, Silvana and Elaine. And the ADCET 2025 Accessibility in Action Awards honour the exceptional individuals and initiatives, and the people who I work with, and the people who access our program, and the people who have given so much of the program before us are all exceptional. Due to their contribution, I get to work in this exceptional program, doing exceptional things, modelling good practice in accessibility and inclusion in the Australian tertiary education sector. So thank you to ADCET for recognising the team and the program's innovation and dedication, and striving to create a more accessible university experience for students with autism at Curtin. And thank you also to our leadership at Curtin for their continued support to develop and grow the programme, and from the initial pilot project to the programme that we offer today, and also with our plans to continue to develop and grow the programme and to continue to meet the needs of students with autism. But most of all, we'd like to thank the mentors and mentees without whom we would not have a programme. And the contribution of mentors and mentees is what enables us to develop the program in response to our students with autism tell us that they need, and what they want from the program itself. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kevin. And congratulations to yourself, Zendia and Debbie there. Look, absolutely brilliant. One of the one of the judges, I should say, commented, and you were talking about the putting on more mentors. Sorry, they put in a comment, I really like the student to mentor ratio. I think it's beneficial for both parties, both to not overload the mentors with too many mentees, but also keep the mentees with familiar people. They also like that they have a common space for them to meet and spend time, as well as special interest groups within the program. So congratulations, everybody there with the program.
Thank you.
Next up is Deakin University's Biomedicine Technical Services team of Maria Amodio, Huang Huen, Nick Espert, Liam Nolan, Shay Randall, and Juan Trun.
Thanks, Aaron, so much. My name's Shay. I'm one of the technical officers for Deakin here. Description of me is I'm a white woman in her mid-30s. I've got a black shirt on. I usually have quite bright red hair, but it's faded at the moment in a bun. I'd first like to say thank you. It's an honour to receive this award on behalf of my team. This recognition reflects the truly collaborative effort that the technical team here at Deakin in supporting our students. We worked closely across academic, technical and student support spaces to ensure our students with visual impairments could fully participate in practical classes safely and meaningfully, building the foundations to thrive in their academic endeavours. We explored new approaches to present information that has previously been taught through visual demonstrations, observations, diagrams, tables and videos. Practical activities were redesigned in direct consultation with our students, their support staff and colleagues across the university to maintain learning outcomes without compromise. We adapted assessments, used braille labelling throughout our classes to make equipment more accessible. We 3D printed cellular models, crafted inheritance models to represent different genotypic and phenotypic traits. From 2D diagrams, we created tactile diagrams of animals, cells, echocardiograms with wikisticks and plasticines, so that our students could feel their observations through touch. Most importantly, this was shaped by our continuous dialogue with our student Anna. Her feedback, commitment, curiosity and drive pushed us to keep refining our approach and reminded us that inclusion is not about reducing expectations, but about removing barriers. So thank you, Anna. Thank you so much to ADCET, Lisa, for our nomination, and congratulations to all other recipients. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shay. Look, one of the judges commented that this team demonstrates what is possible when we consider accessibility and deeply consider how individuals engage with concepts and lab work beyond just simple visual material, an absolute inspiration to other teams. So congratulations there to the Biomedicine Technical Services team. Next up is Edith Cowan University for their Inclusive Employability project with Emma Lovegrove, Denise Bertoloni and Professor Justin Brown.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma and I'm representing the team at Edith Cowan University today. So thank you very much for having us, and it's such a great honour to receive this award. So we really appreciate the recognition of what we've been doing. And I just want to acknowledge Professor Justin Brown, who's been leading the employability and graduate outcomes team and has really been the driving force behind having inclusive employability as part of the team, and also Elle Beaumont-Bilsby and Denise Bertoloni, and also all of the ECU staff, students and graduates that were involved in helping to co-design this project from its inception. So from design and concepts all the way through to delivery and evaluation. So what our project is a student-focused resource. It's an online career development learning resource called Strength in Diversity, Enhancing Your Employment Journey. And it is embedded into the learning management system Canvas, so that it's the idea that it's accessible to all students, and also that academics can embed the resource into things like the work integrated learning preparation modules. So really trying to make sure that it's accessible in an equal way to all students. The resource was driven by disparities in graduate outcomes, particularly for students with disability, students that have English as a second language. We're also looking at disadvantages in the workplace around discrimination and harassment. So other student equity cohorts that we considered was LGBTIQA+, and also Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. So what we thought we were going to do at the beginning and what we actually came up with changed as a result of co-designing with students and graduates. So we ended up with a resource that looks across 8 topics, covering things like your workplace rights, finding inclusive employers, bringing your authentic self to the workplace, coping with setbacks, just to name a few. And what students really wanted to hear was real life stories from graduates. So for each topic, we were able to really privileged and humbled to be able to engage with graduates who shared their real life stories against each of those topics. And then each of the videos is accompanied just with some additional information and resources for students to follow up. So we're really, it's the outcome and the feedback from students and graduates and staff has been really positive. So the goal now is just to continue to embed those resources across careers, access and inclusion, and in curricula to ensure that they're reaching students, and then to evaluate the impact and the usefulness. In terms of next steps, we're also looking at inclusive work, integrated learning in terms of processes and procedures and universal design, and working with staff and students and grads in that space as well as working with employers. So I think hopefully that gives you a flavour of what the resource was about. And yeah, really just driven by lived experience. Also I should mention in the resource design as well. So looking at the accessibility of Canvas and testing that with a screen reader as well. So I'm going to wrap up here, and I just want to congratulate all the other award winners as well. There's some really amazing projects there that have given us some food for thought as well in terms of what next. So thank you very much to everybody and to the team at ECU.
Thank you, Emma. Look, well said to everybody today, and certainly your team in that as well. One of the judges noted, I'll just say with this, it was great to see an employability-focused initiative that incorporated co-design, lived experience of disability, intersectional disadvantage, staff engagement, and focused on inclusive employers, employer engagement, and user testing to help build an organisational capacity for the participation of staff with disability as well. So I just thought might mention that as well. Not everybody gets to see everything that was in a nomination, that's for sure. But yeah, well deserved. Congratulations to you and the team there. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Darren. Thank you.
Next on our list is TAFE New South Wales for implementing a hive formation for accessibility and inclusion knowledge sharing with Naomi McGrath, John Fardulis, Kathy Simic, Stefan Belbin, Carla McMillan, Sue Wakefield, Mia Rudd, Teresita Slava, and Gail Mercado.
Video settings. Start my video. Later button. Audio now unmuted. Can
you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, can hear you.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It never works when it's supposed to. Look, I'd just like to take this opportunity on behalf of our team, who you've just mentioned, who are led by the fantastic Naomi McGrath and John Fadulis. Our team is, made up of, quite a few people, and it's, I guess, one of the things that, that we have in common is that we all strive for universal design and inclusive design. And I think our ID Hive, which is a repository of pretty well everything you could ever need for research about accessibility, universal design. We're even doing, inclusive design health checks, which means that when resources are produced, they'll come through our section and they'll be checked for accessibility in all areas, and and there'll be a report done too if there's things to be addressed and so forth. That'll be marked on the report, and that'll be sent back to the section as well. So hopefully things that come out the other end will be ticking all those boxes. So that in itself is just a fantastic I guess initiative that that the inclusive design team is working on. I myself, I'm blind and I use a screen reader, so our team is made up of a lot of people with lived experience as well, which is very important in the whole design of these different projects. I just wanted to finish up by saying thank you to ADCET for recognising the inclusive design team, TAFE New South Wales, for this award. We really do appreciate it, and it is it is certainly taken on board. And I just want to finish up by saying that the team is certainly a team that works. It's innovative, it's collaborative, and it implements everything through a universal and inclusive design lens to make everything in the area of learning within tertiary education better for everyone. And so thank you, ADCET, and thank you to the team.
Thank you, Stephen, and congratulations to everybody there. It's no small task, but you're taking it bite size by bite size, and I love the notion of things coming in, getting marked, and then what can be improved. So it's about continual improvement, because our job is never done. We know that, but this will be making a big dent. So congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you.
Next up, TAFE New South Wales, again in conjunction with TAFE South Australia, for their UDL Level Up on implementing inclusive practices in teaching and learning. It's familiar names here: Naomi McGrath, John Fadoulis from TAFE New South Wales, and Trina Bianchini and Tanya Allen from TAFE South Australia.
Thank you, Darren. Just checking you can hear me okay.
All good, Naomi.
We're not used to Zoom, we're Teams, so Zoom always gets me, but thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Naomi McGrath. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a white woman. I can still say I'm in my late 30s for the next few months at least, and I've got light brown hair up in a high bun, wearing a green shirt and a black jacket. I am accepting this award on behalf of our joint project team. The UDL Level Up concept originated from an idea both organisations had to improve the uptake of UDL by creating a capability tool to demonstrate a practical UDL application in teaching and learning materials. The project team have been working on this concept and building out a prototype to demonstrate different levels of capability on accessibility, usability, and UDL. The UDL Level Up concept starts with a simple design that might not meet all our quality and compliance guidelines. We then build on this first level to make sure it meets accessibility standards, as well as incorporating UDL +1 approaches. You then build again on that level and embed usability and communication standards, and again incorporate UDL +1 approaches. Finally, the last level shows all the improvements made to enhance the learner's experience, adding choice, flexibility, and UDL enhancements. The result is both inclusive and effective and provides a clear demonstration of the impact of UDL and inclusive design. I would like to thank Tanya, Trina, and John for being amazing collaborators and being such a delight to work with. We have learned so much from each other and what our organisations are doing to improve awareness and capability around UDL. It has been such a pleasure to work on a project that will benefit not only our staff, but our students. We look forward to showcasing our final product with you all in the future. So thank you again to the team, to TAFE New South Wales and TAFE SA for supporting this project, and to the judges and ADCET for this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. Look, and it's fantastic to see collaboration across institutions on something so important as this, and certainly that UDL approach to things. But congratulations to both TAFE New South Wales and TAFE South Australia teams there for that fantastic work. Lastly, out of our team and project winners, and we're running ahead of time, which is fantastic. Thank you, everybody, is Deakin University for their neurodiverse student programs, a multitude of them that were listed in their nomination. And that is to Meg Mayer, Lisa Kavanagh, Emma Klein, Tracy Nelson, Kylie Fitzpatrick, Claire Edwards, Andrew Sinnott, Craig McGree, Lizette Rodriguez, Simon Gore, Nikki Bleger, John Laidlaw, Michelle Jespin, and Tracy Ellis.
Hello. Sorry, hopefully
there we go.
You can all hear me.
Andrew, I can hear you, yes.
Perfect, and hope my camera's on. Hi everyone, I'm Andrew, the Senior Officer of Neurodiverse Student Programs here at Deakin University. I am a person of colour in my 30s with black hair, brown glasses, and I'm wearing a navy coloured sweater. I'm accepting this award on behalf of my exceptional colleagues from the Student Access and Inclusion and Counselling teams. Firstly, thank you to ADCET for honouring us with this award. Myself and the team don't do what we do expecting to be recognised for an award like this, so we all feel very privileged that our efforts have been recognised. What this award celebrates is the various programs and resources we have created to support the needs of our neurodiverse student cohort here at Deakin. So that includes our Navigate program, which provides one-on-one mentoring for autistic students to help their transition to uni, our ADHD support groups, providing psychoeducation and peer connection for students with ADHD, our body doubling study sessions, offering students with ADHD a safe and inclusive space to study in, our low sensory orientation campus tours for neurodivergent students to explore our campuses in smaller groups at a slower pace and with reduced sensory stimuli, our ongoing project to develop sensory stories and create sensory mapping and signage for each of our campuses, and lastly, the work we did to improve the resources available on our student web pages specifically for neurodivergent students. I'd like to wrap up by just acknowledging all the hard work of all the staff members involved in these programs. And again, thank you to ADCET for honouring us with this award, and also congratulations to all the other award recipients as well. Such amazing projects that you're all doing at your respective institutions. Thanks, Darren.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrew, and congratulations to everybody there at Deakin. And it's good to see some comments in chat there from a student at Deakin. They identified themselves in the chat as a student I spoke about before. So thank you for your comments, Anna, in chat there. Also, congratulations to everybody for today. That's the last of our award recipients. But as they say, winners are grinners. So I hope you've all got huge smiles on your faces and huge smiles with your colleagues. This is the start of ongoing conversations. That's part of the reason for these awards, is for us all to recognise the work that's going on across the sector. A lot of it, as Rebecca pointed out at the beginning, goes unacknowledged. We don't, and Andrew said something, we do this work just because we do. That's part of our roles, etc. And it's often goes unseen, and we're not expecting to be seen doing that work. But we like to showcase and highlight those things, which is what these awards are all about. Congratulations to all our winners today, and I'll throw back over to Rebecca.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you so much. Very well presented, and congratulations to all our worthy recipients. A big thank you to everyone for joining us today to reflect and celebrate. I hope you're all feeling as refreshed and inspired as I am. Thank you to our captioner, Sharon. An email will be sent to everyone here today when the recording of this event is available on the ADCET website. Please feel free to share this with your colleagues. If you would like to receive the ADCET newsletter, the link to sign up will be added to the chat now. And please save the date for our upcoming webinar. Prepare for exams your way with Learnable, the vendor demonstration. This is on Thursday, 10 July. And very importantly, don't forget to register for our upcoming UDL symposium in June, and further details are available in the chat box as well. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you soon. Bye.